I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna go crazy. Welcome to the Fruma Yap 3. Oh my fucking god. There's so much. There's so much to discuss, so much to theorize about, so much to analyze. Uh since the trailer dropped on Saturday, I have been trying to decipher as much as I can. I'm gonna try to make this a bit more focused, but I have no fucking script, no fucking bullet points, nothing. So we're just getting straight into it. So of course, there's the update page and there's the trailer. So I'm really quickly gonna just look at the trailer and we're gonna sporadically come back to the trailer and the site, and we're gonna go in game because I have a little something there where I've been analyzing the map. Don't mind those two; they're old fucking theories about how Fruma would be. Welcome to Esprin, by the way. I have done nothing for this. uh, I kind of lost motivation to work on Esperant, so yeah, don't worry about that. And we're getting the real thing soon anyway. So the trailer starts off with Tazamora farming on the wings, and it sporadically cuts between him killing the guards, the wings, and him in the Inquisitor chair, tied up. Now, originally when I saw this trailer, and near the end there's like this area where he looks like he's getting the soldiers ready to battle something, and then him fucking killing them all. Interspersed with him in the Inquisitor chair, I thought he was captured, and that like he got inquisitored, he got programmed again to serve the crown. But honestly, no, I don't think so, because he's in his like starter fit. He's in the same outfit he is in the start of the game and in while he's living in Esperance. So I think this version of Tasm this version of Tasm and this version of Tasm are two different times and two different timelines. I think the quest is going to have a split story, hello, where Tasm sides with the crown and opposes the crown. And I think you know which options are going to let him go into either path. If you don't tell him about Aladar, he's gonna side with the crown. If you tell him about Aladar, he's gonna crash the fuck out. And I cannot wait for that. Oh boy. Right, so after the Tasm aura farming, we get to the gates. Oh, I find it fun how, like, in this shot, it's archer, warrior, and mage. Like, the first classes. The very first classes, and then there's, like, assassin behind the warrior here. But, like, the first classes to start Wynncraft are finally entering into Fruma. And Shaman, yeah, they're, I don't know, doing shamanism stuff, I don't care. Something I do want to point out for later, keep in mind that the constable guards at the gate have white plumes. I knew this was gonna be important. And it is, where we'll get to that. So they enter the gate. It's a fucking model because, of course. Oh, it's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. And also these chains that are like holding up the butterfly emblem. I think we saw this in the Adventures Lullaby, like icon in the album cover frame. Yeah. I'm still sad it's not gonna be like referencing the old gate. I I miss those cartoonishly big hinges, man. They were so funny and so fucking iconic. So we entered into Fruma and Esprin, Auburn, Frog, the fucking tutorial windmill. Yeah, I was a few weeks ago I was talking about how, oh man, it sucks that this model isn't used anywhere else. Here it is. uh, from what I can see, this appears to be like around the main entrance. I think this might be one of the towers for the main entrance. Hold on, did it? No, 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 no. This isn't the main entrance. Where the fuck is this? It's like this tower in the back. That's the Esprin Tower. That's here, here somewhere. That's like the beginning of the foundation that we see from the Recover the Past cutscene. And we're looking at it like this. I can't seem to like see any other. Actually, yeah, that's the fucking wall. So it's like actually, the wall would be here, or it's like this. It's like this, I guess. It's looking into town like this. So yeah, an image of Esprin, Auburn. I think this is like in this direction from the town, since like in the trailer you see one of the resistance members from Leaves in the Wind here, and behind them and behind the buildings you can see waterfalls which are similar to these. So I think this shot is from around this part of Auburn, so that's fun. And then we get more shots of Auburn. I can't put my finger on where this is, but it's the fucking it's the trees. It's the trees again. These trees in the back that I have stated my distaste for. I don't like them particularly. And then I get really heated about it because I really care about Fruma's quality, and everything else is so good. But those trees, man, those trees. It's like, that's a pretty recognizable landmark of the area. So, like, come on, where is it? This is probably also nearby. Oh yeah, it's definitely nearby. I recognize this style of tree. I have no idea what this creature is. A hedgehog or something. And then we have, I think this is Mistwoods. This might be Industrial District, but I think this is Mistwoods. So this is either Mistwoods or like Industrial District. Since in one video in this site there's like a little bit more naturey side of Industrial District. We'll get to it. Then there's the shot of the Highlands. And another critique. Those mountains, though, I know these mountains actually provide really good information about the location of this. This is probably like right behind Troms, or like Durnal, the Durnal jungle. But they take up so much visual space here, and they just look so out of place with the new art style. They just look ugly, and I really wish whenever anyone on the build team has time, because I know y'all are still doing stuff. I really hope that those mountains get rebuilt at some point. Cause like, man, like the Auburn trees, I can look past. Okay, I can look past that. It's fine. Yeah. This, I'm just. I don't like the border mountains, but they provide so much useful information about the layout of the way of the land. And I have no idea where this specific castle is, but I know around where in location it is to another shots, like yeah, here with this castle here and this like support structure. That's the same as here. And yeah, you can literally see the purple roofs of some of the castle in the back there. And then there's this like weird plant which is visible in another part of the trailer, but I'm not certain if it takes place in the same spot. Like this decoration could definitely be used somewhere else. So I wouldn't rely on this as a landmark to try and figure out where stuff is. I'll just use this time also to mention the trees, the cherry trees in the Highlands. They're so pretty. It's so pretty. This area is so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. I feel like I need to give them their time in the spotlight after I bashed the Esprin trees. They're really good. I love these. They're so good. I love them. I love them. I love them. Also, blue rocks. I have no idea where the hell these blue rocks come from, where they are in relation to the map. I haven't gone too deep into trying to figure out everything and its layout, which is evident by these red areas on the map here where I have no idea how the borders are set up, what's in this corner, since the vast angles we get are from like this angle or like this angle where it's blocked by fog and Aelumia Citadel. So yeah, big ass question mark, small ass question mark, misty question mark. The Mistwoods, given their nature with all the promotional material being covered in mist and fog, are really hard to to analyze. So I've just like selected this whole like corner next to Durno Jungle for Mistwoods. There's a very big chance that the unreleased wastelands could be part of the industrial district or Mistwoods, or even under Aelumia. Weird name. I struggled so hard to memorize that, and I'm struggling to say it. Aelumia. Aelumia. Something like that. Okay. And a guard with a yellow plume. And remember, the guards at the gate had a white plume. And then we get, yeah, a bit of a nature in the industrial district. So there's definitely, it's most definitely like gonna be this scene with the warrior going on the board above the border. That's probably a scene in the industrial district in a less urbanized part of the district. And we get a look at the industrial district, which, by the way, from Recover the Past, that thing where Cade lives is the industrial district slums. It's insane how different they are from what we've seen. They're really flat and very naturey still. I mean, they are slums, so they're not going to be in the center of town, so there is a chance that that's why they're not like as compact and stacked on top of each other as here. With like these windows of like stair slits, like these sorts of windows are very iconic to me about the district slums that we saw from Recover the Past. So, yeah, very obviously the same area. And then we have another look at them. I haven't really spent a long time analyzing specifically the industrial district and the Mistwoods. The most investigation I've done has been for Auburn, the Aelumia Citadel, the Highlands, and Toran, the Gate area, which we'll get to in a bit. It's interesting, it's important, it has some stuff to it, but the rest of Fruma. So, Industrial District. Blue Plumes. Auburn Forest. Red Plumes. Huh. Interesting. Also, another look at the Industrial District. However, something that I instantly noticed is that this building in the back, I don't know if my if my cursor is visible, but like this area, like to the right center, it's the exact building we see here. Here, yeah. You can see the beige, red, and orange combination with something else on top. And, yeah. Orange, beige, red, and shit on top. It's like we saw a zoomed in version of that shot, and we see now this area. This is the most. Actually, no. This is the second most investigation I've done about the industrial district so far. There's a better shot with it. it's interesting. There's like stuff that's being built still. And here's a really good view at Toran, the other side of the gate. Really, really fucking cool. And from what we can see here, it directly neighbors the Auburn forest. So, like, this is my idea of what the border probably looks like. Like, also this horse with the flag here, this is the entrance that we see in the 6th Sovereign teaser that we got with the what was his name? The 6th, I think, Zaryak, yeah. He's the only one that I don't remember the name of the most. We see Zaryak entering a destroyed Toran, which I had theories about. They were wrong, or like they were probably wrong. I'll probably go into it a bit later, since we also got a cover of the shorts. Oh my god, the shorts. But let's not get distracted by that right now. Right now, we can examine this area. So obviously this is Toran, this is the gate. There's the door with the swirls. And also even more even more butterfly emblems over here. And this area over here is here. You can see how it goes inwards a bit. And here starts the tutorial. Like, here-ish is the gate that you enter, like the gate that the cart goes through before it breaks. And then you go down here, and there's the gate to the Wynn province, and Wynn, and Fruma, and Ragni, and Troms, and Durno over here, which I also find interesting that Durno is next to the Mistwoods, and a royal city is next to a royal-ish high society city, which I don't think is gonna be a city, but there's a chance that there's a city. Yay. So, yeah, well, while I'm in the game right now, I also want to point out the plumes that we saw on the guards. White for the gate and Toran, red for Auburn, blue for Industrial District. The Mistwoods, we see... The only time we see guards in the Mistwoods is for the teaser of the 4th Sovereign, Gaikyu? Gaikyu, yeah. What? Yeah. We see them here. Also, this structure is like the same that we see here. It's this structure is this structure. I know, hard to believe. Okay, but actually these trees are here. Are they like... I'm still thinking about this scene. Orange and white bark. There's certainly white bark. I don't know. I still don't know about that scene. It can be like a billion different things. Okay, not a billion different things. It can be like 5 different things. like it's probably around this border area, that scene that I don't know where it is. And like this building and thus where the fourth sovereign rests is on this wall of the mountain. That's what I was talking about, the noise textured mountains giving us a lot of information. Because this teaser doesn't tell us much, but it does show that it's this area. Yeah. Do you see it? Did you see it? Noise textured mountains. And where on the Fruman borders would there be noise textured mountains? On the border with Wynn. And it's definitely not going to be here because this mountain around the tutorial and Fruma and the ocean here was rebuilt. This border, however, has not, apparently. And we can figure out that this one tree and this place is probably around here. Probably more like here. I could go into the game and like try to figure out which mountain exactly is behind here, but like again, I haven't done much investigation into the for Mistwoods. So yeah, this is somewhere on the mountains here. We've not seen these mountains, so there's a chance that the wastelands could be here, like taking up this little section here. But we don't know. And then we're on the wall, the Espron wall. The wall that I was so fucking confused about. But apparently, it's the wall that splits the Auburn Forest from the industrial district. This wall. It's... I really did not expect Fruma to be as separated as it is. But, yeah. I finally realized what this wall is. Wow, we were dumb. How did we not think of this? Hello? These images that I'm coming to, there's a lot more to discuss, but later. Let's get the trailer finished first. So this is the Auburn Wall, and we see constable guards walking to Aelumia Citadel with the red plumes. You're right, I didn't finish my thought about the plumes. The guards, the constable guards in the Mistwoods, use white plumes in the media that we've seen. However, apparently this is wrong. I don't think it matters that I was told this by content team, but they use green plumes for the Mistwoods. And then the Highlands use yellow plumes. And then later in the trailer, we see guards, not constable guards, using purple plumes. So here is the lineup, and the purple, I think, is gonna be the Aelumia Citadel guards, or possibly the You know, wastelands? Perchance. But I doubt it. Like, come on, purple, the royal color, the royal capital, Aelumia Citadel? Come on now. Come on. Come on. Come on now. That's definitely what's going on. So I got them walking towards Aelumia Citadel, which is so fucking big, by the way. It's so massive. It's so big. Jesus Christ. It's every time I look at the images about it, or like my map of Fruma, I'm like, man, Aelumia is pretty small. But then I look back at the trailer or other promotional materials, and my god! Damn! It's so big! It's an entire region after all. Why do I keep thinking it's small? Damn, that's like an issue I have with Fruma itself. I keep thinking it's small, but then I look a little closer and I'm reminded of how big this place is. Christ! Like, after, like, I haven't gone into my map study, but like, Fruma is bigger than the Canyon of the Lost. Aelumia is probably like the size, if not larger than like the Bantiso Air Temple, mountains included. Christ, man. This area is probably bigger than, I don't know. It's definitely bigger than the Hive. Way bigger than the Hive. I think like at least 6 hives, 6 Kira hives can fit inside this area. I need to map to finish mapping this out so I can put this in my map study file and figure out how big this place is. Cause damn, it's big. Damn. And the Queen! Queenie! Fruma Queen, Her Majesty! And her dress is split hair, SMH, unplayable. I love that Salted added the walking with high heels sound here. It really, it just like gives her aura, it gives her presence. You know, the reason high heels and heels in general have that like hard bit at the end to make a sound, to make a statement that you're there, you're here. So good. Hell yeah. The queen is such a baddie. Sorry. She's really good. I love her design. 13-part storyline, by the way. And 8 quests on top of that. 21! 21 quests. And this... Sorted! Stop mirroring! Stop mirroring your images. You see this on the right side. On the right side of the Aelumia Citadel. That's the dam that holds the pond from the highlands to keep Esprin and Auburn from flooding. This is the angle that they use looking at Aelumia, and look where the highlands and the dam is. Stop mirroring! I know it might look good in the cinematography, but it drives me up the wall sometime. Ooh. Oh. Uh, I think my yapping got to Firefox. Anyway, uh, 13-part storyline? That's fucking insane. The breaking point, eat your fucking heart out. Damn! And this 13-part storyline requires Realm of Light and the Silent Expanse. So, 5 quests from Realm of Light, the 2 quests on top of that from Silent Expanse, A Journey Beyond and A Journey Further, 7 quests, and then 13-part storyline, 7, 13, 20. 20 quests to reach the end of this storyline. Jesus fucking Christ. The last thing that was like this, the breaking point, what the fuck did it need? The 4 dwarves and dogons, the Thanos depository, 5. So, what else did it need? Alright, it needed the envoy 1 and 2, 7. I think that was it. Right? The Thanos depository, the envoy, dwarves and dogons, and then the quest itself. I think that was it, yeah. So that's 7. 7, and then the 8th quest. We're going from an 8 quest storyline, which ended in a raid, which I hope doesn't happen again. I really hope the Fruma story doesn't end off with another raid. I'm gonna be so sad. I'm legit gonna be so sad if the story ends with another raid. So we went from an 8 quest storyline with 1 raid to a 20 quest long storyline with 1 raid, definitely, because Realm of Light, Nexus of Light, saving Orpheon, and then whatever happens in Fruma with the Worn Torn Palace. Also, big thing right away, right after this, trains. I mean, we already sort of figured that Fruma is gonna have trains from that one leaked cave, subterranean, where abandoned rail lines are now home to something best kept a secret. I think that was the description. So yeah, we definitely knew that trains could be a part of Fruma. Also, keep the leaked caves in mind that I talked about in a previous video, because actually I'm gonna what am I doing? I'm gonna fucking bring it up right now since it's so small. Water tower! It's the fucking water tower. And okay, yeah, it's like around here, and then the subterranean cave is like around here. It's like, let me get my yellow concrete and just label it like that. I don't know. It's like, it's probably, this area is probably also industrial district, so I'm just gonna, right, trailer. This guy is drinking a coffee. So we have the Mistwoods here. There's some pipes here. This also goes into my idea that okay, I didn't say it here, but like, I have an idea that the Mistwoods and the industrial district are sort of combined. Like, From the teaser for Gaiku, the fourth Sovereign, and the little we've seen of the Mistwoods, and like we can see some industrial stuff inside of there alongside just nature. So there is a chance that Sosu, the fifth Sovereign, and Gaiku, the fourth Sovereign, maybe have like agreed to like, I don't know, industrialize, I guess, but also like to industrialize another part of Fruma. That would probably be a decision by the queens, since like she rules over everything anyway. Uh, I don't know, but one thing's for certain: the Mistwoods. There is some industry in here. There's definitely some industry in this place. Not as much as the industrial district, of course, but some. Uh, this person here, I think this is Sui, one of the members of the Leaves in the Wind. That's their name, right? Yeah, Leaves in the Wind. I think this is Sui because of the whitish hair and the purple, like, clothes and the pale skin. She seems to be cursed, aka able to do magic. Uh, and she's freezing the water supply. Interesting. Why is she doing that? Who knows? This is definitely part of the quest. There's not really much we can see from here, since the entirety of the Mistwoods are, guess what, covered in mist and fog. I can see like some structures, some structures here behind the cliff, which I guess would make sense why the pipes are here to lead to there. This person is wearing a mask similar to the one we saw in Salted's inventory from that one tweet. Hold on, let me get to it. Yeah. This one tweet that was like meant to show off the no crafting grid also had this weird mask. I thought it was going to be a cosmetic for the pre-order bundles. Like you can see my tweet here. It. I don't think it is. I think it was more to like hint at this. I don't know who this person specifically is, though. On the topic of the store bundles, there were skins about the characters inside of Fruma. I don't remember specifically how they were named, but like they were some names for weapon skins which weren't in the site, not for the Leaves in the Wind, nor for the Sovereigns. Also, this guy, this guy here, he's just called question mark. What the hell? Also, his their portrait is like a jigsaw puzzle, I think. It's weird, it's a whole thing. I tried my hand at it, nothing came of it, so yeah. Uh, yeah, this person, I think this is one of the people mentioned by the bundle cosmetics. I just don't remember the names that were listed. But I don't think this person is part of Leaves of the Wind. I think this is somebody who's in another resistance group because the site mentions. Stop doing that. many resistance groups through the province. So yeah, there's definitely other groups that we're going to be accompanied by and probably help. They throw a poisonous dagger here to like another character that I think is like mentioned in the cosmetics, but I don't think they're mentioned here. I mean, I don't think it's Zeph. They don't have the scar on their face, but this is definitely Sui. And this is them again, and Sui and Tazem, our boy Tazem. And this is somewhere in the industrial district. I haven't really looked around. I haven't really looked around too much in the industrial district media we have, as I've said. So I have no idea where this is, but it looks like Sui is practicing some sort of water magic, which, I mean, makes sense. She was like seen freezing the water for some water pump or something. And then there's Gaiku. I hate them. I hate them. I want to slap them. It looks like we're gonna slap them. I want to slap them. Ugh. Weird. Fucked up creature. Me no likey. The beast is demonic in nature. Very icky. No good. This is the same room that we saw in their teaser. And yeah, as we figured from their everything, with how they like squish and pop out, they're definitely some kind of shapeshifter. I can't believe we're gonna use this, but like, especially considering the meme that the meme that Wynn tweeted.
My god, I'm so tired I could eat a horse.
I hate them so much in a good way. They're so good, but I hate them. Such a character. Puts them in a wine glass and spins it around. Such a character. Very much a character. I want to see more of them. Also, like, while we are here, particles. This is definitely old footage, very old footage, since it's not using the ability visuals that we see later in the trailer. Like, yeah, there. They have goop in their arena. This looks like the same sludge that's in the Witherhead fight, the Aeon Origin world event, where you fight two other Olm skeletons, and also some other fights I don't remember, but those specifically. Olms, you say? Huh? Is Gaiku an Olm that knows shape-shifting magic? Hello? Or, another theory about them, what if they're the shapeshifter from General's orders? Like, whenever their teaser was posted, everyone was theorizing that it's the shapeshifter from General's orders, including myself. So, yeah, I don't know what their deal is, but I'm very much interested to see what's going on with them. And like the promotional material that shows them off. Ugh. Nay. I don't know. They're really cool. I want to see more of them. I think they're my favorite sovereign so far. Gaikyu and Sosu. Look at this gremlin here, by the way. Doing the elf finger pose. Such a brat. I doubt we're. I really doubt that we're going to be killing her. Gaikyu, there's definitely a chance we could kill them. Honestly. The queen, I don't think we're gonna be killing her. She's too powerful. She also has homophobia in her eyes. Keep that in mind. So we see a fight with Gaikyu. There's a chance we could fight them several times. Or just once. Who knows? And we see Zeph and Rex here with the new dialogue portraits and the dialogue box, which, thank God. Oh, I am so thankful that the dialogue isn't dependent on the chat anymore. Because my God, was that annoying, to be honest. Also, like, instead of the in brackets 1 out of like 23 or something, you have a little progress bar here for the dialogue. And then there's like some dialogue between these two here, which I can't really judge what it is. And Tasm, our boy Tasm. And here we see how okay, pause. Okay, I'll get to it in a moment here. We see how options for the chat, for the dialogue is gonna work now. Instead of pressing buttons on the keyboard, or like opening chat and clicking options, I think what's gonna happen now is you're gonna scroll between options here. So, before I get to what I just noticed, we have Toran in the back and the blue roofs. Hold on. Is that like this sort of angle here? Oh. Yeah, it could be this. We could just be on the dam. Yeah, we're on the dam looking at Toran. And okay. Now we get to dissect this image properly. Hello, Tasm. Why do you have a butterfly icon? I just noticed this. He has a butterfly on his armor here, and pause. Hold the phone here. That's not his same outfit. That's not his outfit. Yeah. I think this is definitely supporting the idea that, like, I think this definitely supports the idea that we're going to be able to have a split story where Tasm either fights against or joins the fight on the side of the crown and the queen and the sovereigns. Also, since we're going back to this, yeah, the Tasm fight with the wings takes place in this left path that's in the highlands going towards the entrance to Aelumia Citadel. Interesting, don't you think? And then, from what we see, Tasm... If only Aladar could have been here with us. I'm wondering if, by this point, we've told him what happened. Or if this is the part where we tell him. Because this seems endgame. We're in Aelumia, the fourth to final region of Fruma. And we're looking back at the start of Fruma. This is so endgame coded. Like, come on. And we get the portrait of Majin. this guy. This funny guy. This funny man. In which we saw two more portraits of him looking irritated and kind of disappointed, I guess. And then, of course, Gaiku's stare. Ugh. Go back to being a horse. And yeah, his design already summed up his personality. This just solidified it. Ha! You're pathetic. Sitting in front of me, sniveling like a baby. Spare me, great sovereign! Spare me, great sovereign! Oh, I hate him. In the way that I want to beat his ass. I love these drawings. Textlated did a great job with the portraits. Also, it's interesting that... Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna bring up what I just realized at the end of the trailer. It's interesting that specific characters have their own dialogue boxes. I think it's definitely possible that like other characters get their own dialogue boxes. Like, for one thing, definitely Orpheon, Dernbeast are gonna have different looking dialogue borders. Who else could have different dialogue boxes? Maybe Bakal? I don't know. Also something that I should point out, because this is a bit comprehensive. Dialogue portraits will only be a thing for Fruma. I know that. It's fine. I don't care. Just Textlated needs a break. Text needs a break. The man worked himself to injury. Let him rest. We can get the portraits for other quests later down the line. It's not that big of a deal. And here's a look at the highlands. The blue rocks here are here, and this castle thing here, I think, is this building here. Which would imply this shot. This shot at all is placed around here, but I don't think it's placed here, honestly. Because, like, we barely see any... We barely see anything regarding the dam, and Salted very well could have mirrored this again, but what we do know is that it's next to this mountain, which is next to noise textured mountains. So it's definitely somewhere here. Not there. Somewhere here. It's possible it's like on this corner? Maybe? Maybe? Maybe. It could also just be like here. But yeah, I haven't really done that much investigation, so this is the biggest issue with making this video this soon. I have barely done any investigation about stuff. I would have loved to like spend a few more days to figure it all out, but I'm too excited to talk about Fruma right now. So yeah, this is definitely on this mountain here that's neighboring Troms. Then there's the item displays. It's cool. I like it. There's definitely some things I would prefer to be changed. For example, the combat and class requirement. I'd like it to be the first thing before the skill point requirement. And another thing that other people have been talking about is subduing the tint on the items a bit on the background, and maybe organizing the skill point requirements a bit, or like color coding them. I think that would really help with distinguishing them on a first look, since instead of having the requirements the item requires, it also lists the ones it doesn't have. Which, I don't know, feels kind of weird. Also, it's weird that, like, it uses the icons that aren't, like, the damage icons and the icons we see in game for skill points. I think that's definitely something that needs to be changed or tweaked a bit. I mean, I still like these, and the fact that stuff is split between pages, that's really, really good, in my opinion. But yeah, it definitely feels like it needs a little bit of tweaking and community feedback. I mean, the community feedback has already been happening. If you want a deep dive into what these items mean and what the abilities mean, this is not the place for you. I'm just here for the lore and stuff, not for the gameplay. I'm not gonna be build maxing, so don't worry, I'm not gonna be spending much time on this. Like other reactions I've seen to the trailer. And we have the Highlands Glaive Master, aka Sword Master. This is near the purple roof places with mountains in the back, so like probably around here with these mountains. I feel like it's closer to here to Aelumia because here, yeah, this section of the highlands around Aelumia and the border with the Mistwoods looks a bit mountainous. So definitely, maybe, probably is around here, like here-ish, I think. Maybe. Probably. We dodge him. Ooh. Yeah, this background really makes me think. Also, this is a potion merchant hut. That's interesting. Blue rocks also. Okay, I just had an idea. What if the wastelands are somewhere here, and they're categorized. They're iconic for blue rocks. No, they're seen in the Highlands. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I think this is definitely near the entrance for the Highlands. So yeah, definitely around here somewhere. Here, I think. Don't quote me on that. Yellow plume though, so definitely Highlands. I mean, it was named after the Highlands. 5 new regions. This is Auburn. I have no idea where this is. This is somewhere around the New Forest. This is the Industrial District. I have no idea where this is. Then there's the Mistwoods. Very pretty. The Highlands. This is the decoration that I was talking about using as a focal point. I have no idea if this is used several times, so I'm not gonna use it as a landmark to try and piece where stuff is because it could very well be used elsewhere. And my assumptions are gonna be void. And there's Aelumia Citadel here, level cap 120. Yeah, we knew this. Here's another shot of the Queen in the Citadel or the walls of the Citadel. And so, have you done the Eldritch Outlook? Have you done the dungeon, the Eldritch Outlook? Does this tell you something? Because it tells me something. Having an emblem of the eye of the Dernic eye, the eye of the Dernic beast, of the Dern beast, Dern's eye, that eye. Having an icon of that on your cape, which is by the way a asymmetrical wing. Shout out to that. That's cool. That's so untrustworthy. This combined with something else we're going to be talking about the Queen later. I don't trust her. At all. One bit, I don't trust her. And like, I really love the cinematography of this shot specifically, giving us a shot of the Queen normally and dark mist coming out from behind her, and as we see the eye in the full brightness, the dark fog creeps in even more. I love that. I love that shot. I really love that shot. I hate how Salted mirrors his shots, but other than that, I love his cinematography. Really, really good trailer. And we're about to get to the intense parts of the trailer now. And Savior Sacrifice. But before that, look at this. Look at this guy. Look at that. Purple. Purple cape. Purple plume. Weird ass area. I have no idea where this is. I don't know. I don't know where this is. But because we have some content about Aelumia. Let me see if I can. Yeah. This guy from the raid has purple on him, and the the roaring knight here has purple on them. I definitely think this is in Aelumia Citadel, which is why I've put purple as Aelumia Citadel's plume for the guards. Anyway, we have Second Chance, the Paladin ability. I definitely think this is the visual for that ability. Then we have Acrobat with its ult and Lacerate, which is cool. Riftwalker rework, very pog, very cool. Also the mini meteors that apparently Riftwalker has now, which is cool. 2 new loot runs. Sure, I really don't care about loot runs that much, to be honest. I mean, it was obvious we're going to be getting one loot run, at least. This purple beacon that we're at seems to be either an attack or defend objective. I think it's going to be an attack objective. We gotta kill the guards here to maybe destroy the precious cargo that's on this thing, on this cart. Which the cart is a really pretty model. I really like it. Ultimate abilities. This is the Lightbender ultimate. It's like the sun attack from Orpheon. It summons the sun and it shoots out. Yeah, you can see how it shoots out the same projectiles the sun does from the Orpheon fight. Here's the meter that shows the ultimate progress. I wonder how is it going to be split between showing the sprint, your combat level, and the ultimate meter. I wonder how that's going to be handled. Also, why does Salted have 605 HP? Damn. So here we have a cannon minigun and Fallen's ultimate ability, in which we spread corruption inside of Fruma. Hell yeah. And mounts. I mentioned the removal of the crafting grid here on the tweet. The second that I saw that tweet, I instantly knew that the mount system was being reworked. Because, the only thing that used the crafting grid was the mount system. And if that's being removed, then definitely something is being done for the mounts. So I kind of expected there to be a mount rework, but I was not expecting there to be 2 different types of mounts. We haven't seen or heard anything about the Fruma mount, but the Gavel mount, oh boy, that's gonna be helpful for warriors and shamans who struggle really hard with vertical movement, especially warrior. It's gonna really help, I think. Also has a satchel on the side, I just noticed that. Interesting. And here's a look inside of Aelumia Citadel. And a look at the new raid, which I think this structure here is the War-Torn Palace. That structure, come on, I think is this, because it stands out pretty hard. Yeah, and the dark prismarine roofs, yeah, it makes sense. Plus you can see the flags here. Yeah, this raid structure really helps with orientation, and these 2 towers that show the entrance to the Citadel are really helpful. Also, while we're here, you can see that the Aelumia Citadel is split with a wall inside of the wall. really interesting. And there's also like structures poking out through the wall, which I suspect the structures were there, but then the whole area, landmass that the Aelumia Citadel was sitting on was raised, and a wall was created around it, which sadly had to go around existing structures. Which is why there's like stuff poking out from here. That's my theory. Also, the design of the wall of the Aelumia Citadel is very reminiscent of the wall for Esperon and the Auburn Forest. Because, like, dark stone and then brickwork? Dark stone? Brickwork? Hello? Hello? Very similar. There's probably a story behind that. There's gotta be a reason for it. And then we get Hubert over here, how the community has named him. I don't like. I really don't like this trend of naming stuff and enemies after like normal ass names. Like, come on, man. I mean, it works, I guess, for now, while we don't have its name. But like, let's not turn this into a Greg 2, please. I really wish it doesn't turn out to be a Greg 2. Actually, it's gonna be a Greg 3 because people attached that John Gluck thing from the ARG. I really hope that dies out because I want people to call the Queen, and not John Gluck. It's funny, it's stupid, but please, no. Greg was enough. Yeah, this is like one of the few looks we have inside of the raid, alongside Mr. Rory Knight over here. Like, come on, you can't tell me this guy isn't the Roaring Knights. We're like influenced by the Roaring Knight from Deltarune. Like the armor, the horn. Come on, the horns are exactly the same except this one is missing. And then there's a scream. Like it curls up, and then like does this pose and screeches and stuff comes out of its chest. Come on, that's just the Roaring Knight. Let's be real. And I don't think I can pick apart anything from the background here. It looks like Auburn trees. I don't know if it is. It's weird. There's some kind of like statue or something behind it. I don't know. I don't know. And then we have the Queen. A better look at the dam, and man, this place is so big. Like, I was rewatching the trailer yesterday, and like I was alt tabbing in and out, and like I was at like this scene. I was paused on this scene. I was like, man, actually thinking about it, Fruma seems really small. And then the clouds part, and then I look at Aelumia Citadel and the dam, and I'm like, oh no, this is actually really, really big. Yeah. And the Queen has homophobia in her eyes. Pay attention, however, to the color of her eyes. Purple and gold. No, not pink and yellow, no. Shut up. I know I just talked about the outer room. Shut up. Shut up. No friend. Purple and gold. Now, let me ask you a question. Where have we seen a duality of something with colors, specifically secondary colors, relating to both sides of the duality, that have gold and purple? Orpheon is white and gold. Dern, or what we've seen Dern influence the physical plane, what's the one thing that's iconic about the Silent Expanse? Those spiky mountains of black and purple. All I'm saying is Twilight Theory stocks are rising. We have no idea about anything about the story involving the realms, but it's going to include the realms in some way, shape, or form, since it requires Realm of Light and Silent Expanse to be completed before you enter Fruma. Definitely because of Aladar's death. That's definitely one part that's going to be important to the storyline, simply because of Tasm. But come on, there's gonna be something about the realms. And yeah, Queenie here. She looks so cool. She looks so cool. And we get a look at Auburn here. Damn. That's a damn. Yeah. It goes into Auburn. And we get... Okay, so this updates banner. Yeah, it's the Fruma flag. We all expected that. It has the gates and hydro stuff there in the center. That's pretty neat. There's also scales in the Queen's crown. In Wynn's Twitter, there was a tweet that was just a butterfly and the scales. Now, we know that butterflies are an important symbol for Fruma. However, the scales, now that's interesting. Where else have we seen scales in Wing? Where else does the idea of scales come from? She's tipping the scales. The scale looks balanced at first, but then it starts going in one direction. But then a butterfly comes in. A butterfly that's a significant symbol for Fruma. And it lands on the other side of the scale. And it weighs in its favor. She's tipping the scales. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's the trailer. let's look at some of the things that they posted in the week coming up to the trailer. It started off with "She'll be seeing you shortly." This is obviously the queen that she's gonna be seeing us shortly. Uh, I have to explain this since we're gonna be seeing that tweet soon. Um, this tweet that was meant to imply that the Queen of Fruma is gonna see us shortly. For some reason, a splinter group from the Hightail fans was expecting or thinking that a branch of Wynn on Hightail was going to be announced. And so they started replying, "Wyntail?" And then, of course, in the Wynn Discord, this was discussed and Salted noticed, and then look at what he did. The Fruma update banner with the fucking leaves of the Hightail logo above and below. This was so much fuel to the fire of delusion and engagement bait. And in the fucking, you already know what this is about. We Win players, we knew what this was about, but anyone outside of this sphere was like, what the fuck? Oh, Wyntail? Oh. The game had just launched, by the way, at this point, and people were expecting that Wynn was gonna go up, discard everything, and do a fucking Hightail port? God damn. Like they said later, maybe not now, but at some point, and it's not gonna be a full port. It's gonna be like a small, like, story in the same world, just in a different game engine. Then the butterfly and the scale, we've seen the scales used as a secondary important symbol. I mean, it's visible on the actual update banner, it's in the dialogue box for the sovereigns, or at least Majin. Who knows if it's gonna be on the other sovereigns. Then I'd say the worst part of the engagement bait, this specific tweet, "High tales have yet to be told." God fucking damn it. Stay tuned for some shocking news coming in the next few days before the end of the month. That was the ARG. The team has never been so excited. They still are excited. We still don't know what this is. It's probably about the Fruma newsletter. That's the biggest idea I have about it. No clue what else this could be about. This is an actual, not edited spoiler for Fruma. You're now entering Hi. Hi, Pickle. This was the moment where the Hightail fans realized, oh wait, this isn't actually for real. This is engagement bait. And the backlash was insane. Sorry, somebody messed up the cropping. Here's the real one. We were eating good with this image. It's not much, but we were eating good. You're now entering High Lock, which again, I think is this spot here next to the lake. High Lock. High Lock, Lock Lake, High Lake. Yeah. This also had a lot of backlash. 74 replies. Oh my god! And yeah, this. In the meantime, while we wait, we'll soon reveal the Fruma Expansion containing 7 years of love and hard work from our team. And then we had the ARG, and we lost our minds. Looking at the floor in the desert in the Lavigar Plains, and then the floor in the Recover the Past prison. I'm tired of looking at the floor and of golden ratios. Please. People solved the first clues. This was intentional. This was unintentional. The silhouette of the queen, that was meant to be the end of the ARG, but because a person was able to dig through the website, they were able to find that page, and they had to improvise a new ending, which is 1,000 times better, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, this is where we got Adventure's Lullaby, a very pretty song. The silhouettes of the queen, do not look at the replies, do not look at what I have replied to it with. Another hint for the ARG, and the ARG ending with this mirror, which is related to the second Sovereign, which is related to the Inquisitor program, the reprogramming of recruits. I definitely think the second Sovereign isn't in charge of a specific sector of Fruma, but is instead in charge of the mind-wiping magic that Fruma has around the borders, with how we heard about the Korkians that left Fruma, with the recruits reprogramming and the whole program there. People have suspected that their dialogue portrait has a mask, which is cool. It could be something similar to the Inquisitor masks, which would even more support the idea that they're related, because the Sovereign who controls the whole program, it's gonna make the people who are using its magic to reprogram the recruits' minds would have the same masks or similar to the Sovereign that governs them. And this image of Sosu, I have no idea what this is anymore. My original theory about this specific image was that this was the leader of a resistance that ended up going into hiding, realized something about the realms maybe, or how to do specific magic, and became mad and started attacking Fruma. But because the resistance only remembers them when they were sane, they looked at them fondly, and which would be why Seb from the Sixth Sovereign and Teaser, they had drawn a depiction of like a frog with the goggles that Sosu is wearing here and has in the dialogue portrait here and in the art here. So I have no idea what this is meant to represent. This is definitely though Sovereign Sosu on the golem that we see from her short teaser. And we have the gameplay and little story teasers. Sets are gone, the set rarity is gone, we know this already. There were so many people panicking that the morph was gonna be deleted. Jesus Christ, people, use some common sense. That's all I'm gonna say. Then there's this image that we talked about, with the guards, with newspapers, with the yellow bandanas and other decorations, which would imply that these are guards for the Highlands. And due to the Highlock newspaper teaser, and this guard having a newspaper and just the name Highlock, I'm pretty sure that this and the Highlock teasers are in the Highlands, specifically in this town here, because it's next to a lake. And morph dead said items skyrocket in price. I cannot believe that my silly meme ended up being posted. A new ability which we didn't see on the website. Powder Master being replaced. We still don't know with what. Powder Master replacement. New NPC, the Upgrader. This is probably how our item ascension is going to be done for some mythics. We'll have to see. Then there's the tweet telling us about the shorts. Then the teaser with no crafting to suggest the mount rework and the fox mask, which I still don't understand what it is, what's its whole deal. However, it is similar to this one NPC here, this NPC that throws like a dart to Yaman and Sui here in the Mistwoods. I wonder if the inventory here is gonna have a little decoration, since there's no crafting grid here. Would really love one, since it's just gonna be like a big blob of beige with nothing going on. Even more teaser, imagine an industrial district right here. Industrial district, come on, it's spelling it out. It's close to the release of the trailer. Some new art, which I didn't actually notice, but there's a knee, a toe, and an ek rune on the antlers of this deer, which is interesting. Then there's Tasm aura farming, and oh my god, okay. One at a time. This is just a shot from the trailer. Another image with Tasm on the Inquisitor chair is from the trailer, but that's later on. This is the loot run inspect thing, which like shows boons and stuff and curses. Sure, I was expecting social interaction screen, but this works too. I really want better socialization features in Wynn, so I hope Fruma has some of that. I really do, but I doubt it, and I'm kind of sad about that. 2 hours remained in Crow Quinn? Professor A, what are you doing here? I think this is in Auburn. Makes sense, since frogs were shown to be part of Auburn. Why is it drinking? Here's another shot of Tasm in the trailer. They caught my goat! They caught him! They caught my goat! Not my goat, let them be okay! The last hour, people were queuing up for the gate, which was funny. And then the player record was broken, and what else? What else is there to say? Oh hey, Pyrocynical is live. Anyway, hello. The same day that I recorded, a few hours later, this dropped. Whisper. Interesting. So let's talk about it. At first, let's look at the thumbnail, the cover art. Really interesting. We have the emblem that we saw in Maple Chimes. Obvious, since this is Auburn Forest. We have a foot with a geta and a town with chimes and trees, stomping on several copies of Xerox, trying to hold back the foot stomping down. However, interestingly, only Xerox over here, he's the only character we've seen that wears Geta. So, to me, this sort of reads as he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, a lot of expectations, from the things he has said that he wants to do, bring back honor to his house, to Auburn. One of those two. I still don't know which one. There's something to his name. Yeah. This is pretty. But then there's the description. There's a note from Textilated, how the song was remade later on, further than its original intentions. It's really, really pretty. I love it. I want to listen to it all day long, but I gotta make this video, man. And then there's the log from Mage at level 105. However, about 2, maybe even 6 minutes in, I felt as if someone sang to me. I had to write it down, and then lyrics which start at around 2 minutes or 6 minutes, which starts around here. Yeah, with that bass in the background. Dawn breaks when the wind fades. Hear the whispering breeze. No, that's timing. That's timing. It messes me up so bad when I try to sing this. But yeah, it starts from around there. Then when the song quiets down, leaves cry when the wind dies, and yeah. Interesting though that it keeps mentioning leaves. When the wind grows, the leaves follow. The leaves are the resistance. Leaves in the wind. Are we the wind? When we grow and we go forward, the leaves follow us. But the leaves cry when the wind dies. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much more there is to analyze from this. So yeah. On a similar note, I'm so good. Win yesterday, from when I'm recording this, posted some footage of Esprin and Auburn. Oh my god, my field of expertise. This area. Instantly, I'm clocking this as. Actually, let me open up the Esprin teaser. This shot is from this area, this part of town, which I still have no idea where it is, but actually, I can sort of figure out where it is. As we can see, like Aelumia Citadel. No, that's actually Toran. What the fuck? Yeah, that's Toran, and that's the dam. So it's definitely here-ish. Maybe there's a secondary entrance that we don't see in the Recover the Past cutscene. So probably there's a bit of Esprin here, next to the tower, and maybe here. Wait, no. What the fuck am I doing here? Here, and here, maybe. And then, like, here it's gonna be the entrance towards the industrial district. Okay. Yeah. This is definitely part of Esprin, though. Esprin City still. This is probably a path leading towards Toran. Maple woodcutting level 80, which is not important because this footage is old. It's probably gonna be way higher level, probably 120, maybe. Then we see this like tower thing. I don't think we see this anywhere. No, it's this. Yeah, around here. Interesting. Uh, oh, this part I know where this is. This is. So work with me here a bit. There's a path here that curves a bit here towards here. Then there's the weapon merchant over here. And this building here is the weapon merchant. With the frog fountain over here. The entrance to the frog fountain area here. And right in front of here was where the Don't Join the Fight poster graffiti was at the end of the teaser. And yeah, there's the frog fountains. Then there's this cave we can see from the text display here. There's this cave closer to Aelumia and the dam, which is around here-ish here. Yeah, if not like in this general vicinity. That's basically the Twitter, and since basically everything that was in the shorts we've covered, let's just go through the shorts real quick. Here's Toran in flames. Xerox walks in. There's dead constable guards. There's a hole here near a gate. So something happened. Maybe a break-in. And there's devastation and stuff. Everyone dead, everything on fire, and Xerox looking sad. Damn. Why is he so muscular? Then there's Sosu's teaser, thick fog from industry, pipes, clean as iron and white wool, steel pipes. Very industrial. This door here, keypad. Ouch, that's not even the industrial. That's our age. That's our modern age. What the fuck? Then deeper into the factory, we see this golem here that we saw in the drawing here. This golem with Sosu on top. It's probably this golem. And then there's Sosu making more golems, as the site told us she does. Then there's the pet short, where people joked around that the fourth sovereign was actually a raccoon. And honestly, maybe not that far off. Here's the fourth. A little shot at the structure in the Mistwoods. And we see our they, Gaikyu, however you pronounce their name. They twitch around, laugh at us, and do this pose to look at us, which we see them do in the portrait too. Creepy, 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 creepy. Also something to note, which is more visible in the trailer. Behind their throne, there's like so many workbenches, which are supposed to be like drawers of stuff. God knows what's in there. God knows what they're storing. Ugh, creepy, creepy, very creepy ass. Then there's the teaser of the third, of Majin, of the Highlands. This purple roofed building is here where his office is. We also see this new Grook, which actually this Grookiva feather It might be from this Grook. So who knows? And there he is, just sitting back, lounging, looking flamboyant as all hell, and reading something. And then the most weird one, the second sovereign, showing us the mirror from the end of the ARG, and the mirror that's used as their weapon skin for the bundles from the store. Very interesting. Definitely think they're behind the recruit reprogramming. And it's not over, because we have the site. Here we have members of the Leaves in the Wind. There's even Leaves in the Wind here. The banner here. 3 of the sovereigns. Sosu, Gaikyo, and the 6th, I still forgot his name. And then the Queen. Interesting that she has like gold fingers here. That's interesting. That's a design choice, but I'm not sure what it means. Queen of Fruma is opening her gates to Fruman recruits of the Wynn province. Insane, inviting them to see the sights and stay in the royal palace. Huh? Aelumia Citadel? No, that can't be right. Behind the doors, something doesn't seem quite right. Empty halls, abandoned sovereign chairs, and a strange tournament being held in her honor. What are the Queen's true motives for this invitation? Now, okay, now I can finally talk about Toran real quick. These images don't show us the best look. However, it definitely looks like the gate area extends to the left and to the right. And over here to the left currently, there looks to be some sort of palace that seems to be cut off from this part of Auburn, which I don't know. It looks like it was under a fire or something. I don't know. It's cut off from Auburn from these mountains, and it's giving off very secluded vibes, almost like it's like it's abandoned or empty. And specifically next to the gates, almost as if it was planned for you to be going there, and it wasn't planned for you to be going outside of there. Now, these like videos here that are included in the site, it looks like it's just part of the trailer, but no. There's some parts, some of these videos later down, that do not show parts from the trailer. And I'm geeking about them. Ooh, they're so good. Ooh, they're so good. Yeah. You are the invader, marching through their fields and homes. At least that's how Her Majesty sees it. I'm 100% certain that the Crown was not expecting us to leave the gate area with Toran, and that we going into the rest of Fruma was not accounted for, and which is why guards are attacking us. And which is why Fruma's mobs are going to be mostly human. Because they didn't account for us being there. We're technically allowed in Fruma, but we're not allowed in specific areas. Oh, these aerial shots that we've been coming to, they're very information dense. My god. First image here. This shot is like here. It's looking at Auburn, a bit of the industrial district, mostly the Aelumia Citadel. This is where like Chasm fights the wings. There's like a castle. Here's the pond with the dam. These mountains here, which like hold the tutorial area. Very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. Also, the mountains here seem to be a lot lower. This might just be like an issue with the fog, but who knows? So yeah, this is the Highlands. I think this area here under here is gonna be like a town, a gameplay town. Currently, we know of Esprin as a town, and Highlock, which we don't know if it's going to be a proper town, gameplay town, if it's just going to be a small area, or even where it's going to be. I originally suspected it's going to be in the Mistwoods, even as we were giving the teaser about Highlock. We have no idea where this is. But something to consider. It has newspapers. The most recent time we saw a newspaper was this drawing of a guard with yellow. This guard in yellow has a newspaper. Yellow. Highlands. Newspaper. High Lock. High Lake. And then these next two shots are both from around this sort of angle, where we see into Aelumia a bit. There's the war-torn palace. There's Auburn. There's Auburn and Toran in the. God damn it. Auburn and Toran in the back. A bit of the industrial district we never see back here because we don't get a shot into this corner, which is why I've labeled it to like I don't know what's in there. A bit of the Mistwoods with one of these redwood trees, which is next to like this these mountains, which honestly might just actually confirm, yeah, this area here next to the tree, around here, then the border, and then the area with the Swordmaster, then the purple cliffs, the purple roofs, the green roofs, the structures. Yeah. This area we haven't also seen this corner really. I mean, this could be the wastelands. Very well could be. But we'll have to see. So yeah, like this area here is the area we see. Yeah, here. Yeah, this redwood tree I think is this tall one here. It's almost next to these like spiky mountains. That's sure, yeah, maybe. Hi, hello. Different today here. We're going to go over the districts real quick, and this part of the video is gonna have a bit more parts from this different recording, since my original recording around this time I was getting really tired. I was talking for 2 hours. It's over. This video is already long enough, so let's just go. Auburn Forest. There is a quiet whisper in the trees. The autumn-stained forest sees little involvement from the crown, granting the community a sense of peace and serenity. With the lack of official work, a culture of foraging and trading has emerged. However, this lack of work also means the scarcity of emeralds. We knew about the scarcity of emeralds. We were already told this from the first teaser about Esprin. It's the poorest region. The inhabitants barely have an emerald to their name. Yada yada. Um, I was going to bring this up. I'm still gonna bring this up. Before Whisper was posted, you could actually figure out what its name was, since in the credits of the trailer, the Fruma trailer, you can see Whisper composed by Texlated, because it is composed by Texlated, and performed by Salted on his guitar, which is it's really pretty. It's a really pretty song. The guitar cover and the real thing. Whisper also, you can hear, you can read that there's a quiet whisper in the trees. So that was another hint that the name of Auburn Forest's theme was called Whisper. Just wanted to point that out because I couldn't get this before the soundtrack upload. This is a better shot from the trailer where we saw a frog on the left here, and we saw the tutorial windmill and the Esperon Tower in the back. And yeah, the wall for the districts is gonna be a bit to the left. I'm still unsure if this is looking at Esperon from here or from here. So yeah, I think it's definitely from this angle. Don't mind the updated map. I'm gonna get back to that later. I just wanna finish with the website first. Industrial district residents are subject to demanding work schedules, forced to meet production quotas under threat of losing housing or worse. What the fuck is worse? I mean, maybe death. I guess that could be worse than losing housing. And this shot, this shot appears to be around here because earlier on you can see a tiny bit of Aelumia Citadel here. These towers, which actually, this tower in particular is interesting because a quest cutscene happens here with Sui and Tazin, where Sui does like water magic. I'm gonna be going back to those cutscenes later. Tazin player Sui cutscene. This might be like here actually, because I haven't placed these signs exactly where they are on the map here. Having a day between recording sessions really does something to you, man. Oh my god. Yeah, so Tazim Sui cutscene on this like red brick tower, I think it is. There's this tower which you can see from, I think, yeah, it's here in the back. And we get to see the mountains here, which I'm having trouble alt tabbing, which might be like these mountains. It's like this might even be a bit more forward. I don't know. I'll think about that later. Anyway, there's also again some parts of nature in the industrial district, so it isn't entirely sprawled out. The Mistwoods, for the fog hides many things and friendly faces rarely mean well. Boy. Friendly faces don't mean well, you say? That's totally half a reference to Gaiku and how they sort of look, pleasant, friendly, sort of friendly. Here's another shot of the Highlands, and this is another shot of the Mistwoods. We've seen these two. There's no point in going over them. I guess I could say like this is definitely not the shot with the warrior walking past. It's definitely not that. It feels way too different. So this plant is probably reused. There's not much to glean from this besides, like, this. Life is good, beautiful, and simple. So, like, lazy rich people. Insane. Then, Aelumia Citadel, guarded by the best and strongest of the Fruma wings, the Gendarme. The things we saw from the second chance ability visuals show off, and the further down block us from entering Aelumia without the proper documentation, which is interesting. Who said cities had to be safe? I think this is a reference to how, like, this is meant to be a city, but it's not an actual gameplay town. And so it's gonna be unsafe, there's gonna be enemies within it, we've seen some of that, and we've also seen that there's a raid inside, so, like, yeah, not safe. The wastelands are missing, so they're probably gonna be, like, in 2.2.0, that update. Maybe later, but I don't know. We have literally no information about the place, except that it's gonna be released later. And the wastelands, we have nothing about them. Like, the most information we have about them is that this sovereign, the second sovereign, might be connected to them, but I still think the second sovereign is behind the recruit reprogramming and the recruit program in general, and it's just inside of the Aelumia Citadel. And so the first sovereign is going to be in the wastelands. New discoveries, this was a given. New caves, this was a given, especially with world events too. This one is near Toron, near the gate. This one seems to be in the Mistwoods. And this is in the Highlands, patrolling soldiers. New quests, yes, but, like, let's look at these. We have, like, a parry thing, we have to, like, fight a person here, we have some parkour here with blue rocks. So, like, probably in the Highlands, I guess. We have a raccoon stealing a chicken in the industrial district. The industrial district just seems like a Resident Evil puzzle from what we've seen. You gotta find valves to turn them. You have to burn stuff in furnaces. Definitely Resident Evil inspired, I feel. And then we have bad piggies. Seriously? We have bad piggies in Wynncraft? No way. This looks fun. Where we seem to be going through a sewer in the industrial district. Hello again, cutting back in. I want to get a better look at this video. I haven't checked where these coordinates are, but given that it's Auburn and there's this big ass structure here with a guard, it's probably close to Esprin. It's probably around here with, like, the... Actually, I can actually just... not using the wind pack. It's probably, like, here with the big tower looming in the shadow, since there's also guards nearby. So yeah, I don't think it's... I could probably check the coordinates later on, but it's probably not going to be that different. It's mostly just going to tell me where Esprin lies on the map, since a lot of these coordinates actually helped me rearrange some things. So we have an extended frame of the conversation between Rex and Zack over here. Then we have a wider shot of the TASM cutscene. I mentioned the emblem here, but we can get a better look that Yeah, this is a different skin. This is a really different skin. So this is definitely end game material. Also, a better look at the cliffs here, since it's not as zoomed in. You can see how like shift and the scroll wheel are pulsing in color. That's definitely how you choose options now. Which is gonna be funny for stuff like the Lexdale Diary, where there's gonna be options like all the way to the top of the screen. That's gonna be silly. Then we have Majin, his office, coordinates. I can get into coordinates a bit. They lined up perfectly with this area, and the player is looking this way. So that's his office. The same line. We have these guys here. I think these guys are gonna be the main resistance group of the industrial district. And we get Rex here using her bow to get up to this roof of the building. Actually, it's a different building. It's not the one I'm thinking. This is around here. We can see like, we can see the tall redwoods in the back. We can see Aelumia Citadel here with the rocks that define its cliffs, I guess. So we get a better look at the area close to the wall that sections off the industrial district and the Mistwoods. Um, there's a few shots from a specific mage that's level 115 that then levels to 116 for another scene with the fight with Gaikyu. So yeah, the fight with Gaikyu is one quest, and before that quest is the one with Tazem and Sui, and Sui freezing the lake, and Sui and Tazem in the industrial district. That's one quest. Probably. I think. And then another quest has the fight with Gaikyu. Here we have Sui with us, looking at a map, I guess, of the structure here in the Mistwoods, trying to find the office of Gaikyu. More constructs made by Sosu, having a stealth section here. This really reminds me of like some horror games. If a part of Fruma plays like a survival horror game, that's gonna be so peak. And then here, we build a bomb. We're gonna blow this damn plane. uh, I have no idea where this connects. It's the same mage that has the scene with Rex here, so it might be the same quest. Its XP hasn't moved, so it's probably the same quest. And while I'm here, I'm also gonna cover the sovereigns because I breezed past them in my last recording. So, okay. First is Xerox, the sovereign of the Auburn Forest. This, I assume, is like either he wants to bring honor to the whole Auburn Forest district, or like the specific house he comes from in the Highlands, I guess. I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely certain that Zarak is gonna be Zarak? Zariok. I have no idea how to pronounce his name still. Um, he's gonna be one. He's gonna be important for Auburn, but there's gonna be something deeper about him, I feel. Uh, Also, he's gonna be like probably the first sovereign we meet. Then there's Sosu, Sovereign of the Industrial District, perhaps building a few golems as the side projects. We saw that. She's interested in the advances of electromagic, which is interesting. Well, I wonder how that's going to be relevant. I wonder if anything Korkian is going to be mentioned. And there's Gaikyu, Sovereign of the Mistwoods. Stilted, unsettling, and off. Major G-Man vibes from this day. Very G-Man coded. Very yucky. Demonic in nature. No good. Majin. Level 250? Nah. Level 99,999. Sovereign of the Highlands. Artist, poet, scholar, writer, magician. Is there anything the Sovereign doesn't excel at? And then there's question mark, who is watching you. People still haven't figured out the jigsaw of their portrait, so that's kind of sad. And since we're going over the characters already, let's cover the Leaves in the Wind. You aren't going alone. The Leaves in the Wind is one of the many resistance groups throughout the province. One of many, which is why I mentioned those two NPCs that we saw in an industrial district quest area are probably one of the resistance groups for the industrial district. Leaves in the Wind is based in the Auburn Forest. Its members work to help the downtrodden and neglected citizens of the region, gathering insight on the Crown's movements and sabotage military operations. However, a growing discontent spreads through the Leaves, who feel their work over the last 2 decades, so this has been happening for a while, and probably Tasm has interacted with them when he was living in Esperin, before he was kicked out to the Wind Province. Most of its members are too tied down to the region to make a greater stand, needing to stay to support friends or family. But for the rest, perhaps the right external catalyst could spring them into action. The external catalyst being me, you, and Tasm over there. The player in Tasm. So we got Rex here, we've seen them as an archer, we've seen them disappointed with Zeph. Sui we saw doing magic, but we never saw their character portrait. We've never seen anything of Mora, and Syndra we've only seen in the Esperin teaser. And then there's Tasm, who is just there along for the ride. I just realized there's a lot of stuff common. Both Rex and Mora and Syndra had origins in the Highlands. Mora was gonna be a warrior for the crown. Syndra was a warrior of the crown. Rex grew up in the Highlands. It's interesting. I think this stability being threatened is because Rex is living in the house that was Tasm's, and him maybe trying to move back in. I don't know. Is probably having her stability threatened. But also, mentioning the Wind Province enough causes her to get angry and suspicion, which is very weird. Maybe the person she was looking for in Auburn ended up being kicked into Wynn. Since Auburn is next to Toran, and Toran is near the tunnel towards the tutorial area, and the tutorial area leads to Wynn. Then there's Zeph. I don't have much to say about Zeph. They just seem like Good guy. And there's Sui, a quiet, reserved, and insecure member of the Leaves, which is interesting because we've only seen her in the Mistwoods and the Industrial District. So that's interesting. Maybe we didn't get her trust in Auburn and we built that up in the Industrial District and the Mistwoods. Will she be able to truly make a difference? Can she find a way to keep her family safe? And most importantly, is she really cursed? I think being cursed is just being able to do magic. She has been seen doing magic. She is cursed, in my opinion. And I mean, it's not that bad. I think we haven't been told much about being cursed, so who knows? Maybe it's like super cancer or something. Mora is Sui's older. Definitely one of the things that maybe convinced Mora to join the resistance was that Syndra mentioned that Rex was in the resistance, maybe at the time. And Big Bro over here wants to protect his sister, so why not? Also, from his armor, he still appears to be like a guard, maybe. Not part of the province's military, but a guard, maybe. Then there's Syndra, once loyal soldier to the crown. Syndra is the founder and leader of the Leaves and the Wind Resistance. Interesting. I cannot glean anything from this, honestly. So I'd rather just wait for the quests to show up and to figure out her story. She definitely has baggage when it comes to the crown. Then there's our boy Tazim over here, or a farmer, looking at you deeply with those blue-ass eyes. Though he had tried to turn away from his past, Tazim finds himself drawn back in when a mysterious invitation is sent out to many once Fruma recruits. That probably includes us, probably how we're invited into Fruma and how the quest starts. A messenger gives us a message to go to Fruma. Probably in Deathless. Will you tell him what happened? Fucked up. Fucked up. Just the notion that you can't tell him about Aladar? Fucked up. Me don't likey. We don't get to learn about the other quest NPCs that are also parts of other resistances, but I think they're gonna be playing minor roles, which is why we're not learning about them. Even though in the store bundles, there's weapon skins that mention names that are not in the site. So definitely they have importance, but they're not as important as the leaves in the wind. The dialogue system. It's very cool. I really like it. But I don't think there's much we can figure out from here. We've got our Rex dialogue. This is probably related to the quest in which Rex and Zeph and the player are next to Esperon. Human, which I think is red hair. Yeah, I think this is human. And then there's Syndra. It doesn't matter now. We've come this far already. We'll have to work with what we've got, with what we have. These lines are definitely not connected. Ultimate abilities. This drawing is from the Corcus Lutron, which is fun. There's certainly stuff you can pick apart from here. This ability is in the Highlands somewhere. This is somewhere in the Industrial District guarding a gate. And they have shotguns. Thankfully not shotgun spells. They have blue plumes. I mean, they're from the Industrial District. Near a gate. This is probably the gate to the Mistwoods, they have shotguns, and the Riftwalker uses the new abilities. And from the shaders and the motion blur, I can't tell much apart. Here with the Fallen, there's a chain gun cannon, and I think that's soldiers with purple plumes, suggesting Aelumia Citadel. And then the acrobat reaches these Auburn Forest guards with their red plumes. This is probably closer to Toran since there's an absence of the fall-colored leaves. Okay, there's nothing much we can discuss about the abilities. They're cool. They seem cool. This GUI looks interesting. This is like probably selecting which ultimate ability you're gonna be selecting. This is the Fallen one, this is the Battle Monk one, this is the Paladin one. It looks interesting, I guess. And then there's abilities, none of these like really shock me. They're cool. I mean, you can probably guess where they are from like the background since it's opaque here. Riftwalker rework sounds interesting, but it's also, it seems as complex as Trickster, which I still haven't tried, so yeah, that's just more gameplay stuff to play around with later. And ability visual effects. They look so cool. They look so cool. In this clip, we're a shaman in the Aelumia Citadel fighting guards with purple decorations and plumes. There's a minigun cannon, which is very funny. Seems well animated, and it indicates it attacks very well. Here the shaman throws out a totem, casts aura. There's the rain ability, I forgot what it's called, that follows the totem as it falls. And if you look closely, up, new main attacks. Yeah, so I think this is the most up-to-date footage we have of Fruma, since it's using actual models for the main attack instead of particles, like we see in the trailer when the mage is fighting Gaikyu, and in other parts that I am forgetting. But yeah, this is probably the most modern footage we have of Fruma. There's also coordinates in the corner, so I tracked them down, and it takes place like around here. Actually, I can just yeah, shaman in the Aelumia. It takes place around here. They're looking north, and then northeast, and east, and southeast. It's like east, north, northeast, east, southeast. It's definitely in this corner, which is interesting because like in this corner you'd be going towards the entrance still, I think. Because like I think it's gonna be like you're curving here around the wall, and you have to like go around, or just there's two entrances into the main courtyard, I'd say, where you can access the raid and stuff there. I don't know. But yeah, that's fun. A new raid, the Queen's War-Torn Palace. So what's that? QWP? I'm not sure that has a good ring to it. Quep? I think people are just gonna ditch the name and just call it like War-Torn Palace. Just like how we do with Orpheon's Nexus of Light. You just call it Nexus of Light. Like, who calls it Orpheon's Nexus of Light? It's obviously Orpheon's. Just call it Nexus of Light. So yeah, I think people are just gonna call it War-Torn Palace, so like WP. Looking for a War-Torn Palace. Face coordinated team-based trials, relentless new enemies, and powerful bosses who guard the Queen's last stronghold. Which doesn't fill me with confidence. I really don't want another storyline to end in a raid. I really don't want that. The best way I can see this being done, if the raid is part of the quest line, is if it takes place after the 12th quest, and the last quest is actually finally confronting the Queen. Because I really, really, really don't want to have the story end and have the main antagonist of the area be defeated in a raid. I hated that with the Parasite in the Nexus of Light. I hated that with the Canyon Colossus. It's fine, I guess, for the Nameless Anomaly and for the Groot Slangs. But for story important stuff, I don't know, it's too repetitive, it's too gameplay focused to be story relevant. So I really hope that it's not story relevant. I really hope it's just like getting to the Queen and not just getting to and fighting the Queen. Then there's the aspects, they're cool. I don't think I'm gonna be using the ultimate charge aspects, I'm not gonna lie. And loot runs, yeah, whatever. I don't care that much about loot runs. This is cool though. I like that there's a menu now for this. Items 2.0, set tier is removed. Sets by themselves and their bonuses stay the same. It's probably going to be another page on the items that's depicting information about the sets. This, you no longer have to equip armor in a specific order to make your builds work, is interesting. I want to see how this works. A lot of the community actually wants to see how this works, since this is so vague. And we're almost done. Item Ascension, you're gonna be able to put your mythics into the new endgame, so don't worry about that. Even though I believe that this was not necessary, maybe the low level mythics can be powered up. Sure, whatever. But the high level ones, no, please no. Just keep them as is. New items, which is interesting because we're gonna be getting new item lore, which is actually 100% canonical because it was written for Fruma. Very exciting because, like, currently, item lores are kind of a messy thing. Some are community contributed, some are old lore, some is new lore, some of it is just lore we have no idea what it applies to. So just eliminating some of those factors about it being old or from the community is gonna help a lot in cohesion, in my opinion. Powders can reach tier 7, that's cool. I have to sort my bank to make room for that. So that's fun, thanks Sauted, very cool. And new music, 70 new tracks. Oh my. Oh, Texlated. You've cooked so hard. Why? Oh, 70 new tracks. 70 new tracks, and we've heard three of them: Adventure's Lullaby, Whisper, and Maple Chimes. They're so peak. I love them so much. Each one of them I love so much. I cannot wait to hear more. New mobs. Oh boy. Okay, this video. So first off, we start off in the Mistwoods, and we see like factory workers, I think, commuting, I guess, to somewhere, maybe a factory in the industrial district, since those two districts are both sort of industrialized. The Mistwoods are sort of industrialized in areas. Then there's this shot of the industrial district, which is here, looking at here. A restricted area. Enforced by sniper. Huh? The marksman drone was so good they had to make it again. It's barely visible through the gaps in the railing here, but on this left wall, I think it says Factory 2. So this is probably the second factory in the district. And we see here mountains in the back. And having mapped this out, it was originally really close to the wall here that I made. I sent that information to the Win Discord, and it was confirmed that this area sort of bulges out and doesn't make a perfect rectangle, which is why I've done this a bit. Yeah, especially given that if this area is around where the shaman is, if we follow this border from the first Fruma forum post, it's really close. There's no way all this building is in such a small area, so definitely it bulges out a bit from the rectangular shape. It's gonna be noticeable a bit. Definitely not as noticeable as this though. We'll get to this later. It's not that important. Mounts! I was expecting just a horse rework, not mounts as a whole. Jesus! Horses are from Wynn, wyverns are flying and from the Canyon of the Lost, and Adasaurus, we have no information about them, but they are from Fruman Mistwoods and are strong beasts. Sure. We saw the model for the wyvern, and although we haven't really seen the new model for the horses, we have seen like this model, and where is it? And this model. So I think there's definitely new models for horses, and then Allosaurus, I have no idea how they're gonna look. This shot seems to be somewhere in the highlands. Right. Bring your mounts to their enclosures? Where the hell is this? Is this like a new, like, housing thing? I really want to see how the system works. With this new system, there are many more stats to train your mounts, offering a deeper and longer progression. Only the most dedicated trainers will get the best mounts. I really want to interact with the system now. I don't know. Something about this specific part of the webpage really gets me excited to use mounts. I don't know why. I really want to look after like a pet. This is like probably gonna be a in-game. This is gonna be a better pet system than the pet system. And then there's professions. Where the hell do you get the tier 13 tools from? we were told nothing about a dungeon in Fruma. I mean, if there is a dungeon in Fruma, it's gonna be in the Wastelands. But like, uh, uh I don't know, Eldritch Outlook, I guess you get tier 13? We have to wait and see, I guess. And we can look at these ingredients. We have Peacock Plume for level 116. This is probably from something related to either the Highlands or Majin. Discarded junk can be used for any crafting profession, level 107. This is. I guess it could be both for Auburn and the industrial district, but also like all of Fruma. Aged cheese, level 117. This is definitely in the Highlands. Or Aelumia, probably closer to the Highlands. Deceptively large bag, level 108. Probably also the industrial district. Also, something to mention. Why is it only loot? Why did they have to drop the bonus from loot bonus? Come on now. It looks so lonely. It looks so weird. It being just loot, especially given that I think in some charms from some raids, it also just says loot, not loot bonus or loot quality. So like this, because like nowhere else do we see loot bonus. Actually, even like in the items, none of these have loot bonus. Damn, that's sad. But yeah, interesting that it just says loot now. Is this a new identification, or is this just a rename for loot bonus? Because if it is a rename of loot bonus, I don't like that. Then there's a frog eyeball from Auburn, because frogs. Grokiva feather from those new Grooks that are gonna be in Fruma, that we've seen only in the Highlands currently, but come on, they're probably gonna be through the whole province. And stale bread for alchemism. Cool. I mean, level 109, probably industrial district again, but it also can be Auburn. I don't know. And then there's the pay to get cosmetics. Yeah. Yeah, that was the website. It's really cool. This update, I'm so excited for this update. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Fruma. 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 It's finally here. It's finally here. I'm so excited. Cannot wait. Can't wait. Please, I want it now. There's actually, I'm reminded of something right now. There's gonna be another teaser that was scrapped from around the time of the mob designer application teaser that showed off one of the wings, one of the guards from the wings. That's gonna be uploaded by Linus at the day that I'm recording this in a few hours. So yeah, maybe check that out. I'm probably not gonna cover that. And from what Linus has said in Wynncraft, it's not gonna be that story important. I wanted to get this video out. It's been painful to see how much information there is about this place from just what we've been given. And people are saying that they have nothing to do and just want to play Fruma right now. You're doing nothing with the information you're given. Damn. I am over here wishing they slow down a little bit with the content they're giving us. Like, oh my god, there's so much. There's so much. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a lot of things still that I haven't gone through. Small cut in here. I just wanted to point out something about the main page about Fruma. These characters on the side. That's Sui, the mage that we see in the industrial district and the Mistwoods in those quests. Then in the middle here, I think this is Zev. And then I think this is Syndra over here. And then there's Gikyu, Sosu, Xerok, and the Queen. Interesting that, like, Majin isn't shown here. Wonder why he isn't there. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to cut into that to say that. Also, this is probably the lake in the Highlands, and this here is the dam, and these towers are in Auburn. We can see them from a few bird's eye shots. So, what's the verdict? What's the too long didn't watch of this video? Fruma is separated into like eight different parts technically. There's the gate and Toran. There's Auburn and Esperance town as a town of the Auburn. 2. We've got the Industrial District. 3. We've got the Mistwoods. 4. We have the Highlands. 5 with Highlock as its town. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got Aelumia Citadel as the 6th. I'm not saying that number. You know how many they come to with the wastelands being included. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So the scenes that we've seen of Fruma. I'm gonna go back to the trailer and really quickly scrub through it and tell you where everything is. This Tasm area is around a walkway that's like here, that goes towards the entrance to Aelumia Citadel. We have the classes going into the gate. We've seen the gate. Then there's a scene of Auburn, which is probably seen from this angle towards Esperance. Then there's this angle, which is probably around here with waterfalls. With waterfalls here, which are visible from Esperance from its teaser. This shot of Esperance, of Auburn, I have no idea where it is. There's a water feature, so it could possibly be around this small lake. This is a shot from Industrial District or Mistwoods. I'm still unsure about this. Probably Industrial District near the slums. Yeah, I have no idea where this is. Then there's the Highlands. This specific shot is from around here, looking at these castles. This green castle is right here. This wooden thing is this supported structure. Then here on the right you can see purple roofs, which are this castle over here, which houses Majin's office. this shot of the highlands. Don't know where it is, but there's mountains in the back and blue rocks, which, by the way, I mean, they define the entire region, since they're found like here and here a bit, and a lot of it in this border region with the mistwoods. So this shot is probably like here-ish. This shot of the mistwoods, also not the mistwoods of the highlands, also is looking at blue rocks, so this is probably towards a cliff area. This sand tower, I think, is visible in another shot of the highlands. Yeah, this, so like under here is probably where the shot is, which this first shot was from here, so like this shot, it was probably from like here, around here somewhere. I just realized where almost every shot from the industrial district is. So this shot with this building here, remember it, there's also like this shot, which is a zoom out of this shot. That is right here. Like, you can see the cylindrical thing, the orange building with stuff on top, and then from the zoomed out image here, you can see this this support structure here with like chimneys, and this is the wooded area that we see from the start of this shot with a vulture or something, some kind of bird. But yeah, those shots are from like around here, and this area is gonna be back here, and this area, pay attention to this orange banner, this red banner with pipes around the buildings, and a little like brick building here. That is, yeah, right here. Orange banner, red banner, pipes, brick building, and on this roof over here, this shot. Very short, but this is from this building. You can actually see the blue tarp here that's seen here, to chimneys and a weird roof on a brick building, to chimneys on a brick building with a weird roof, close to the mistwoods, close to Aelumia. Yeah. And there's this shot, which is visible on my map. It's like under here, like past the little tree area here, and it's like the only piece of content we have from this whole thing that's looking southwards, and of course we get no information from it because it's looking down. So again, we have no idea what's the south border of Fruma, which sucks. Anyway, I just wanted to cut that in because after everything I realized where everything about the industrial district is. Here's a look at the guards walking past Auburn. I think this is the gate behind there, so this is probably Toron, so the shot was probably taken from actually more closer to around here, since there's a mountain blocking this view a bit towards Toron and the gate. Then there's a better shot at Toron from this angle. We also see here the area. I mean, actually you can even see the gate here that leads to the tutorial. That's fun. Then there's a shot from the Mistwoods. that's like over here you see the noise textured mountains from the border with Wynn, and we go down and we see a redwood and the structure behind it, which houses Gaikyu's office, supposedly. Here's a shot of, like, actually it's actually way here. Yeah, around here, and we then cut to Aelumia Citadel and a shot of the Queen walking past. This shot with I forgot what exactly the wording was, but the envoy that we saw in Deathless, that's still in Deathless right now actually. Yeah, this shot is from here, but it's mirrored because Salted hates me. This shot, I have no idea where this is. This is somewhere in the Mist Woods. Yeah, around here. Yeah, there's this redwood tree. Yeah, around here is the lake that Sui here freezes. Another shot from the Mist Woods that I don't know where it is exactly. This character throws a dagger towards Yuman and Sui here. There's a cutscene here from the industrial district around here-ish. With Tazim, Yuman, and Sui, who's practicing water magic. And then we're fighting Gaikyu with a weird ooze that's similar to other fights in Wynn that we've seen, but especially the fights with Witherhead and other Olm skeletons, which is interesting to think about. Then there's this shot of Auburn with Rex and Zeph that we saw in the website better. This shot with Tazin that we saw better on the website. And that's like from here, looking back at the gate. The Sovereign Magin from here, looking this way. Adams 2.0, which is from around here. This shot takes place since it's close to this support structure. Green roof buildings and purple roof buildings, which we've seen, like that specific lineup next to mountains. Which, can you see if it's noise textured? You can't see if it's noise textured, but it's very similar either way, so it doesn't matter. It's here, so like the shot is taken from here, looking at this way. So there's like some sort of castle here. Yay. Adams 2.0. Glaive Master from the Highlands, looking at the purple castle from like this shot, I guess. Yeah, as I said, this border region, this border region between the Highlands and the Mistwoods seems to be very rich in blue rocks. So like cobalt maybe. There's a potion merchant around here. These shots I have no idea where they are. This is definitely somewhere in Aelumia. Another shot of the Queen, who has the eye emblem on her cape. Actually, yeah, it's in the Highlands. There's the redwoods, and this looks like a structure from Aelumia, specifically. This is somewhere in Auburn, close to the gate, since there's a lack of autumn-colored trees, so they're probably around here, since both regions are bordering, and there's a little bit of land where it's not as autumny. This area, these guys with blue plumes, suggesting this is industrial district, so probably around here with the border with Mistwoods, since it's a gate. 2 new Lutrons. I have no idea where this is, but I think this tower is visible in some shots. I don't know if it's this specific tower. Yeah, I think this is Aelumia in this tower, so like this shot is probably taken from like around here or here, somewhere here. 2 new Lutrons, sure. This is somewhere in the Highlands. I have no idea where this is. This is soldiers with purple plumes, so this is probably Highlands or Aelumia, showing the ultimates, yeah, mounts. This is the Mistwoods, looking at Aelumia, so like probably here, yeah. Then the War-Torn Palace, which is seen from here, of course. It's the only angle we have of it, like here. Then there's the Queen, that has like a walkway on the dam, that's here. Right? Here. And then we get the wide shots of Auburn. This area, we don't really see much of it. Also, like, this little area of Auburn, we don't really see much of it since it's blocked by mountains. But it's probably also just Auburn or more of the gate area that's going to be in the first quest. So, this is probably... this whole area is maybe probably the Wastelands or under the Aelumia Citadel. There's a chance that could be it. Yeah. Theories! The biggest theories that I have is Twilight Theory, which is that the Queen managed to balance light and dark. Not exactly balanced, but like benefits from the skewing of the balance of the realms. Like, there has to be a reason that Fruma has been placed in the middle of the Dern quest line. Also, like the trailer here at the end, showing that the butterfly lands on one side to weight in its favor. That means it's probably like the Queen somehow is weighing on the scales of the balance of the realms in favor of dark. We have no idea why that is or how this benefits them, so we have to wait and see. Another theory, the second Sovereign is behind the mind wiping and the reprogramming, and not in charge of Aelumia or the Wastelands. Speaking of, the first Sovereign, my theory for the first Sovereign is that they're in charge of the Wastelands, and we haven't seen them because the Wastelands are not shown at all. And the Queen just rules over Aelumia because makes sense, I guess. Also, yeah. And the last major theory is that there's gonna be a split storyline where Tazen either sides with the resistances of Fruma or the Crown, which we see in the beginning of the trailer with him either fighting the wings or rounding them up for some sort of fight, I guess. Because, like, why would they be marching out of Aelumia with weapons already in such high numbers? There's also a chance that it could be just one story. It's not split. But, I don't know. Having it be split could be cool. So, yeah. This is more or less the layout that I think Fruma has. I'm not sure about like the mountains and some of the borders between regions still. But from what we've gathered, this is decent, I'd say. I mean, we know that Auburn is going to be taking this area, that industrial district is here, that Mistwoods is here, Highlands is here, these castles are around here on this mountainside. There's a lake here with some sort of town, maybe Highlock here. The Citadel is probably around here, since this is around the entrance, so like maybe like this whole disc is like one block forward, but I'm not gonna deal with that right now. Like this around here is the entrance, and like here we have the fight scene with the cannon minigun and the shaman at the corner that showed off the new ability visual effects. There are several scenes in the web page which show interesting stuff, but it's part of quest areas. Like the fight with Gaiku is not actually in their office, it's actually a quest area way around here-ish. So yeah, not much I can glean from that. New songs, they sound really pretty. The caves from the leak from way back when. Water Tower is right here. We've seen Water Tower. It's really close to this second factory. Subterranean. Failed rail lines, home to something much better kept a secret around here. Which leaves like a very, like even in like just marking it off in the map, it's very like it's very far from like other mountains. Like, damn. Unless like, I mean like, yeah, this border from the first blog post showed off that this is more or less accurate footprints that Fruma is gonna be taking place in, which this section is really interesting. What the fuck are they gonna do here? But yeah, it still leaves a lot of space here, and we've not seen this area at all. Like these southern mountains. Yes, I had to check my directions real quick. These southern mountains, we have not seen a peep of them. So God knows what's in there. And God knows what's here. Right, another theory that I should be mentioning. There's like a building here off to the side of Toran that I think is gonna be the main area of the first quest, where we're invited into Fruma, and instead of going down into Auburn, we're told, hey, look at that! Look at that cool forest, and the cool dam, and the cool building up ahead. Don't look at that area, it's covered by mist, so you won't see it. Also, wow, look at those tall trees poking out from Aelumia Citadel. Anyway, you'll be staying in a royal place, yes. Come here, in this dark and secluded corner, there's this cool structure that's totally not abandoned, you know, and like, a lot of stuff is happening here, don't worry about it. And like, I think we're gonna be breaking out from here and going into Fruma, and because we're technically allowed in the province, but not in the rest of Fruma, we're gonna be attacked by people, by guards, because we're not supposed to be going around Fruma. But we're allowed in Fruma. So like, death. Punishable by death. As the gatekeeper said, God bless his soul, he's dead now. No one enters Her Majesty's lands punishable by death. And would you look at that? The guards want to kill us. That's death, alright. Really excited about Fruma. Really excited. Cannot wait to play and to hear more of the songs and to explore. Ah! 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 Fruma. Fruma tomorrow. Okay. Okay. So, because I'm taking too long, oh my god. The teaser from Linus is already uploaded, and I am going to cover it real quickly because the information within it isn't that much, but it is actually really important, and something from the new soundtrack release has shaken the ground a bit. First up, let's check out the Breach teaser from Linus. It's, as I expected, it's an extended version of the short, the sixth, the second teaser we had of Xerox, and we see him walking up to the destroyed version of Toron. We saw this. The pacing is a bit different from the short, which is to be expected. We see a bit more of the build, and we see him walking up, seeing a shaman mask from the players that were seen at the end of the 6th Sovereign video teaser. And then he looks up and sees a bashed in door. Which, by the way, I do want to mention that the door behind this one, because how the gate for Fruma is right now, you can actually check it if you go in game and knock at the door. There is a little like airlock sort of deal where it's one gate from the outside of Fruma and another gate from the inside of Fruma. And the gate from outside of Fruma, which is the only one we've seen open from both the 6th Sovereign teaser, the original one, and the full-on trailer for Fruma, we've seen those open, and Adventure's Lullaby, the soundtrack log, still says that we're invited to Fruma, or at least it calls us back. Yeah, this is where the teaser ends. Real quickly, let's Epic Fruma. Epic Fruma. Epic Fruma. I was excited for this song. It's really good. It's stuck in my head. It's so funky. It's so catchy. I love it. But there's a slight problem. From the start of the whole Fruma hype train, I always thought that we were gonna get invited into Fruma for some reason. That could still be the case. Like, at first we might be invited. But Epic Fruma, unlike Epic Win and Epic Gabo, doesn't play at the gate to the province when we enter it. It actually plays after the gate, after we've entered, in Fort Toron. God damn, it's so weird to see that confirmed, the name confirmed. Apparently, the way we learned from it, from the images, from the thread about the 6th Sovereign video teaser, apparently that was a mistake, and that wasn't meant to happen. I'm glad it was an accident because it wasn't that big. so it wasn't that big of a deal. But still, seeing it confirmed that it's a fort, that's fun. And then there's the log. That's level 105 from the warrior. After all that knocking, spell casting, waiting, speaking, they should have just opened the door. Now look at what you made me do. I can't believe that breaking in theory might also be correct. I can't believe the theory about how the player is gonna enter into Fruma that I've denied since day one might actually be correct. I mean, it's not gonna be the exact way that people theorize we're gonna break in, because people suspected that we were gonna break in through the tutorial area. That I still find really lame. This is a much better version of that theory. Because, oh, this is interesting. It has implications. Originally, I thought Xerox is gonna be like one of the only sovereigns that is gonna be like on our side, since he also apparently has ties to the leader of the Leaves in the Wind resistance. But after this, honestly, I think there's gonna be tension between us. Like a personal relation with Xerox, which is gonna be fun. So I don't think... Okay, so theory tweaking based on the information we're given from this teaser and the log from Epic Fruma. I think we'll be invited into Fruma. We'll go to that building, that stadium-looking area, that royal palace, that apparently the queen is inviting other Fruman recruits into to see the sights, and that tournament that's being held in her honor. And I think that after that, for some reason, maybe whoever is running it, like maybe Xerox, is informed of who we are. We're kicked out of the province because, I don't know, we solved every province's issues, and we're gonna solve the issues of Fruma if we're allowed to stay. And then we'll have to break in manually and unlock the rest of Fruma. That's my theory on how either the whole first quest or the first half of the first quest is gonna play out. And I mean, Tazen definitely is gonna be there. He's definitely invited into Fruma and is gonna be at that tournament that is being held in her honor with the Fruman recruits. Yeah, this shakes things up a bit, but it's not catastrophic. I can't wait for something catastrophic to come and straight up reach through the screen and kill me. Yeah. Okay, so hopefully this is the last thing I have to put into this video. But just as I was finally finishing the editing for all of that, Wynncraft posted another teaser. This time it's this interesting video with like a froggy sounding track in the background. There's not much to discuss about this. A hurried walk through the bog. We don't want to alert the frogs. I think the frogs that are mentioned are going to be the species that Croaquin here is part of. And as I stated earlier in the video, in the analysis, Croaquin, I think, is in Esperon, in Auburn, somewhere there. And I don't think this changes that because of this image here near the gate in Fort Toron. There's this like weird area that I said looked like a fire went through there. No, that's this bog that we just saw. That's the same trees. They're a bit spiky, a bit less full as the other trees. And there's like mushrooms. Yeah, I think this is the bog that this tweet is about. I didn't have to delay the video that much due to this, thank God. The track for this teaser does sound a bit like a Terraria track, which I think is pretty cool and funny. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is my best attempt at analyzing everything we have. I don't think I went through everything. I think I missed some stuff. I didn't cover the lore we got from the ARG, but I want to get this before the beta comes. So yeah, I'm gonna stop analyzing here. So yeah, hopefully this gets released in a timely manner. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a like. Fucking that one gif of hello neighbors, hello neighbor that has a scroll with like button and subscribe and notification. Yay. Okay,